Hi Gemini, here's a general look at your solar chart for February 2010, and I think this is going to be a more freewheeling, expansive period than of late. And you know, maybe you've been a little bit inward looking recently. Try things which broaden your horizons now, because the energy string is going to be there for you to tug on. Enroll for a course, take a trip, plunge into a new project. You'll have more of the taste for the exotic, the unfamiliar, the strange at the moment as well, particularly in places, people, knowledge or philosophy, or spirituality as well. Now an academic project could absorb you, but also refresh you at the same time as you are traveling your inner landscape. So in some ways, you know, you still do have one eye looking in, but also you have very much a strong focus looking out. So in general, I think it's going to be a more adventurous phase. The focus is turning outwards now. You'll still be a little bit preoccupied, as I said, with this kind of, you know, asking yourself some deeper questions, I think. Preoccupied with your inner emotional truth, you know, your bottom line, where you're coming from. And you can be very guided at this time too, as a deeper part of yourself comes into play, and you may find yourself changing your point of view over things, and that's up until the 10th, that particular one there. Now from the 10th, you'll feel much more outgoing. It's as though you've made some sort of gear shift, you've come to a conclusion, you're feeling more secure inside of yourself over something, and far more of an appetite then to bust out, you know, and explore, and maybe be thinking outside of the box. Not so much inner pondering going on. Maybe seeking a way to escape the mundane duties of everyday life. Who doesn't? So travel anyway, you know, you might just get a chance to kind of squeak through the loophole here, Gemini, at this time after the 10th, probably more after the 10th. It'll be easier for you there then. So travel is highlighted. Looks like a fun time in store, particularly around the 15th to the 18th. So that's just after Valentine's Day. In relationships, you're more likely to be attracted to people from backgrounds very different to your own, maybe from a different, you know, speaking a different language, or maybe a different culture. And you're likely to be charmed and intrigued by the strange and the unfamiliar. Your head will be full of ideas and new influences. There could be a great teacher or a mentor coming your way during this period too. Now, a love relationship may be linked to travel, or somebody foreign, or somebody from a distant place. That's up until the 12th. And then between the 7th to the 9th, well, you could be daydreaming then about a love relationship. But also you could be daydreaming about an artistic project as well that you're involved in, or any kind of new enterprise as well. And in fact, anything artistic is very well favored by this particular vibration. Anything which is to do with using your imagination, but also using your healing ability as well. Now from the 19th, you'll be more aware of the importance of a good public image. So this is a very different kind of energy. This is more like, you know, shaping up and getting scrubbed up here. So better presentation skills, or rather polish up those presentation skills. You'll be more concerned with how you put yourself across, how others see you, being very aware of being under scrutiny in some way, and that's going to be from the 19th, although I think already from the 12th you're going to be getting into gear there, and you're going to be getting some sympathetic response from those, you know, at the outside looking into your more private world maybe, or rather not right into your private world, but into the towards the face that you present to the world. So anyway, whichever way you look at it, you're going to be wanting to make the right impression on people. That's from the 19th. And particularly on authority figures, those in positions of power who may just be able to help you in some way. But you know, you've got a really friendly, sociable planet in this area from the 12th, in the career sector, in the sector of your chart which is to do with social standing. So that's a pretty good mix actually, because you could, you know, be in a very kind of relaxed, sociable environment with people who you want to get on side in some way, or who are in some way, you know, they've got something that you want, really. So more favorable circumstances can be created regarding business or other more formal exchanges. That's from the 12th, and it's likely things will run smoothly there because the powers that be just like your style, they like what you produce, or they like something about you for some other reason. So that is the time for you to kind of put your best foot forward and to show them, you know, what you're made of and what you've got. Particularly between the 15th, which is just after Valentine's Day, to the 18th. So make hay while the sun shines, Gemini, and remember that even if results aren't as instant as you'd like, every little bit helps. Or overall, you know, you're in a long cycle of recovery after some kind of emotional meltdown which has taken place sometime over the last 15 years, depending on where you are in the sign of Gemini, which day you were born. You are in recovery mode now, but you still need to rethink old scenarios, perhaps around sharing with others, property, finances, and learning how to trust again your deeper feelings and your intuitions, because maybe, you know, your belief in yourself and in your ability to make the right choices was severely rattled. Now this is a time when you have to be more patient, perhaps work harder regarding affairs of the heart or a creative project. You know, it doesn't flow easily. I mean, aspects of it do, but in other ways you've got to kind of organize things. And you'll be taking either or both of these two areas of your life more seriously. And if you've got to work harder to make things happen, well, you know, it's a labor of love. You're going to do it, but because they're not going to just look after themselves at the moment anyway. Creative projects need a more careful, disciplined approach, and you'll have to be patient and take things step by step. And the same goes for romantic connections, and also, you know, connections that you have with a long-standing relationship. It's not all hearts and flowers and happily walking hand in hand off into the sunset. You've got to manage things. You've got to be almost contrived to get things to kick off and to get them to run smoothly. So you've got to put the effort in there at the moment. Also, a love relationship may have a strong teaching element to it, and a feeling almost of a responsibility that you have to the other person to enable and teach them something. And also that goes for anything artistic, creative, a teaching element. So you could be learning something artistic, but also you could be, you know, there could be an element of you teaching others through your own creativity. Well, that's it for February. If you know your rising sign, have a listen to that too.